Why do people ask you questions they don't want the answers to? Seriously. Why ask the question if you don't want the answer? What's good, people? It's your boy, Mr. Rome, Cowboys fan talk, right back like I never left. What's up with y'all, man? How y'all feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Um, I know the week is probably still hard. We ain't even 7 days out since we lost. And I know the frustration probably it's probably starting to subside, but it's probably still bothering you. Obviously, if you're getting trolled on Twitter or in the comments and you ain't me, someone that's used to the trolling, it might still be bothering you. And look, I usually give responses to questions that people don't expect. It's a skill that I've developed over my life. So when you attempt to troll me or do something towards me, I usually respond with something you ain't expecting. I'll say something you ain't expecting. And in real life, I might do something you don't expect. That's just me. That's how I get down. Ask any of my friends if you ever had a chance to. That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? I like to keep it spicy, interesting. So, when trolled today on Twitter a little earlier, my responses might have been a little bit off-putting, but it is what it is, man. You come to troll me, you get back what I give. It is what it is. But today, seriously, a lot of questions in Cowboys Nation, and a lot of people don't like the answers that you give. That's why I brought that story up. That's why I brought up what I was talking about. It all kind of goes together. Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. And earlier today and yesterday, I've been seeing this story out about Zeke, and it's this whole thing that Zeke is willing to come back for less money. Now, this story been floating around since last year. Some of the Cowboys reporters, people close to the front office have been saying, we'll bring back Zeke for less money. Yesterday Zeke is quoted on, basically saying, I'll come back for less money. And you start to realize this is already settled. It's probably already done. They do those like stories that float that, Zeke is willing to, they're just trying to see what the fan base is going to say. The fan base is out on the team right now. It ain't really much you can do outside of saying something like, we're trading for DeAndre Hopkins. We signing Marcus Peters. We're trading for this corner. We're doing something to improve this team. We're firing Kellen Moore. Certain things like that will get the fan base hype. Until those things happen, the fan base is tight. They done. They don't want to hear it. Saying you're bringing Zeke back for less money, don't nobody want that. Now, me, I already know what's going to happen. So rather than sit here and have a conversation about do I want Zeke back, if you know the Cowboys like I do, it's a done deal. Zeke is coming back. So let's not talk about do you want him back. Y'all can answer in the comments. You can say do you want Zeke or not. They don't really matter. Let's deal in what's going to happen. What's the reality? He's coming back. What role will he play? Our running back room is question mark. A big one. We got Malik Davis, who showed potential, but you can't bank a whole season on him. Not quite yet. He could have been the 2 to a 1-2 punch. You got Tony Pollard, who got a pretty serious injury. Serious. Late in the season. Broken bone and then some other things going on with a high ankle sprain. He had surgery today. Wishing him a speedy recovery. But we won't know nothing about how he's looking for 3 to 4 months. At one of the most physical positions in the game. This ain't like when Dak broke his ankle and you could kind of shield him and hopefully don't get hit as much. Tony got to run in there every down. So then you start saying, I can't run out the same thunder and lightning as I did last year with Zeke and Pollard. I can't. So what do you do with Zeke? First and foremost, I would love for y'all to tell me in the comments what you would do with Zeke. We're in the stage of the season where there's questions and there's answers. I'm asking the question because I actually do want to answer. I'm wondering what y'all thinking. There's no wrong answer. Give your complete opinion. Don't just hate on Zeke to hate on him just because he slowed down a little bit. It is what it is. Zeke has had a phenomenal career. He has slowed down some. But if his role switches, what he does when his team switches slightly and he takes less money, you can find something for him to do. Look, we live in a league where I'm going to do a player comparison. Don't take this as disrespect. Don't take it as disrespect. The 49ers who just beat us, they have a player on their team. And you're going to say that's nuts, that's disrespectful. Kyle Juszczyk. Now, Zeke is not a fullback. I know that's been a joke. And the complete label of fullback would be disrespectful. They would never call him a fullback. But could Zeke become a Swiss Army knife situationally? Yes. Do you bring Zeke on the field to do straight running back things? No. But do you put him on the field with other backs and use them in tandem? So then it's not as predictable. When you run Zeke out there alone, the defense don't respect what's going on. Unfortunately, they don't. They still dropping in their regular coverage because they're like, if Zeke breaks the line, he's not fast enough to make any moves to where we can't close the gap. It's not like Tony Pollard where you like, I got to come down in the box. I got to get it started. If I get him get out the blocks, it's going to get crazy. You know what I'm saying? They don't mind if Zeke gets out the blocks. I know this sounds messed up. It is what it is. Short yardage is different. Pass protection is different. I think if Zeke spent the offseason honing his pass catching, he could be Kyle Juszczyk 2.0. I know he's a fullback, but I look at him more like a positionless player. Kind of like what Micah is. Kyle Juszczyk is a little bit of tight end, a little bit of halfback sometimes, fullback, extra blocker. He's a Swiss Army knife. I'll do whatever the team needs to win. Zeke needs to adopt that mindset. The years of him just going for a G are over. It's just over. And that's not disrespect. I love Zeke. But if he's going to come back onto this team, we need you to be viable. We need you to have, it can't be just re-signing you back because the cap hit is too big. He has some pride. He's still a great player in situations. Short yardage is a no-brainer. No-brainer. And you can say, you going to keep him on the team for short yardage back? Yeah, because if you keep running your quarterback in there short yardage, you'll end up like how Philly did. You know what I'm saying? Philly run Jalen Hurts so much at points that he got hurt. Lamar Jackson got hurt. Kyler Murray got hurt. If you run too much, eventually you're going to get nicked up, especially when you're a more slight-built quarterback, even though Jalen Hurts is built like a house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think you bring Zeke in and you let Zeke become more of a Kyle Juszczyk, not turning him into a fullback. No, turning him into a multi-use player. You're not just a running back no more. You're going to have to catch out the backfield. You're going to have to be viable if we spread you out. And you can say, how can Zeke get open? He's not fast enough. If Dalton Schultz can get open, Zeke can work himself into being viable out of the backfield. I've seen Kyle Juszczyk get open. It's all about play design and scheme. And it's all about want to. Would he want to? First step is already done. I want to come back. Well, the front office wants you back, so that's two things down. Now, the fan base, we don't really get to say. We just get to talk. But at the end of the day, if you bring him back in the right capacity, it could work. It could work. If you bring him back and you just run him normally, he's averaging like 2 yards a carry now. It's going to be a long year next year. If you bring him back and be smart about it, get a new offensive coordinator in here, somebody that knows how to scheme things up, like Kyle Shanahan does for the Niners, we'll be fine. If you try to run your head into a brick wall and say, we're going to use Zeke like this 2016, 17, 18, it's not going to work. As far as what's going on with Tony Pollard, man, I don't mind them bringing him back, but you got to have an insurance policy. You're probably going to have to draft a running back, a good one, not the 6th round one. All this stuff I'm saying can go out the window. We get Bijan, whatever, or Gibbs from Alabama or something like that. It changes everything. And do not put out your mind thinking that the Cowboys will not draft a running back at 26. That's out. That's not out. And I know it's some Philly fans in here that's loving. You talking draft already? I'm talking about what I can. It is what it is. I don't mind the trolling. I don't. Just don't get mad at my response. Talk your shit. I'm going to talk mine back. You know what I'm saying? You don't make the rules around here. I do. But look, we're going to probably bring Zeke back. We probably going to draft a running back within the first 3 rounds. Just go ahead and just let it sizzle in your spirit. And we probably going to bring back Tony Pollard. This whole offseason is going to be spent on how to make our offense work with our personnel. Because running 4 button hooks, I'm going to probably talk about that next. Because what Kellen Moore was doing is so terrible. So terrible. We will get to that. But look, it's your boy, Mr. Rome, man. I know I'm supposed to be slowing down, right? I'm supposed to be taking a break. Y'all know how I get down. If you're new to Cowboys Fan Talk, do me a favor, hit the subscribe. But I don't really take days off. I give you 6 days of video in the offseason. Because I always got things going on in my head with the Cowboys where I'm like, I think we can do that. That's just me. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I holla.